Welcome to Nossa Jornada de Hoje, our journey today. If you're learning English, maybe you're at an A1 or A2 beginner level, well, airports can honestly feel a bit intimidating, right? But hey, don't worry. In this explainer, we're going to follow a traveler named Paul on his very first flight to Canada. We'll walk through the absolute essential step-by-step vocabulary you need to confidently navigate an airport in English. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our flight path for today. We'll be looking at 5 sections: check-in, security check, boarding and flight, immigration, and finally baggage claim. It's the exact chronological path you take on a real trip, so it'll make this vocabulary super intuitive to memorize. Section 1, check-in. This is where your journey actually begins. Right off the bat, the airline staff is going to ask for your passport and ticket. These are basically the official documents required to verify your identity and your travel booking. They'll usually say something like, "Good morning, sir. May I see your passport and ticket, please?" And honestly, you can just keep it simple and reply, "Sure, here you are." Next up, dealing with your luggage. The staff member is going to ask you, "Could you please put your bag on the conveyor belt?" So, the crucial point here is the term conveyor belt. It's literally just that moving track right next to the desk where you drop off your heavy luggage so it can get loaded onto the plane. Once your bag is actually on the belt, it gets weighed. In our source story, Paul's bag is exactly 25 kilograms. Now, just a quick aside, in the original text we're looking at, the staff member says your bag weight is 25 kilograms. But since we're really focusing on leveling up our English here, let's gently correct that. It should actually be your bag weight is 25 kilograms. Either way, 25 kilos is perfect, and Paul's ready for the next step. Now for the fun part, seating. The attendant will ask if you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat. Notice how we spell that. The original text had a slight typo, calling it a Nile seat, but it's an aisle seat, spelled A-I-S-L-E. A window seat is great for the view, of course, while the aisle seat is the one right next to the walkway. So after you've checked your bag and picked your seat, they hand you your boarding pass. This is absolutely crucial. It's the document giving you actual permission to enter the airplane. It shows your gate number and your boarding time. So for Paul, his pass says he's heading to gate 23 at 10:30. Moving on to Section 2, Security Check. Time to go through the scanners. I know, security can feel a bit overwhelming, but the vocabulary is actually quite simple. And this brilliantly illustrates how breaking down the security guard's instructions into 3 clear steps makes it super easy to understand. Step 1, take out your money, keys, and laptop. Step 2, put your items in the yellow bin. And Step 3, walk through the scanner. See? No stress at all. After you make it through the scanner, you just grab your things from that yellow bin. The guard then tells Paul to take his items and wait in the waiting hall. That's literally just the big open seating area near your gate where you can finally sit back, relax, and wait for boarding. Section 3, Boarding and Flight. We are finally taking to the skies. So you're waiting, and then you hear that classic announcement. "May I have your attention, please? Please proceed to the gate number 23. I really want to highlight the verb proceed here. It's basically just a formal, polite way of saying go to. So when you hear proceed, you go to your gate, scan that boarding pass, and head right down the tunnel onto the plane. All right, you're in your seat, and the pilot comes on the intercom. "This is your captain speaking. We are about to take off. Please fasten your seatbelt." To fasten your seatbelt simply means to securely buckle that safety strap right across your lap. It's a critical phrase you're going to hear on literally every single flight before you leave the ground. Once you're up in the air, the flight attendants will come by with the in-flight menu. They've got options like noodles, chicken salad, sizzler rice, coffee, tea, water, or mango juice. Paul actually goes for the noodles and mango juice, a pretty solid combo if you ask me. It's super helpful to practice saying things like, "I will have the noodles, please," just to get that natural conversational flow down. Okay, Section 4, Immigration. Welcome to Canada. Just stay calm, we've got this. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it shows how immigration is basically just a simple matching game of questions and facts. Using Paul's profile here as the perfect study guide, it goes like this. The officer asks, "What do you do?" Paul says, "I'm a student." "Purpose of your visit?" "Visiting my uncle." "How long will you be staying?" "About a month." See? Just practice these basic answers with your own details and you'll do absolutely fine. Next, the officer hits you with a very classic immigration question. Do you have anything to declare? Now, in our source story, Paul didn't actually understand this at first. He says, "Sorry about that, I did not get you." And honestly, that is completely normal for beginners. Never panic. It is always okay to politely ask the officer to repeat themselves. So, what does it actually mean? Well, to declare means to formally state if you're bringing any valuable things, large amounts of cash, or restricted items into the country. Once Paul gets what they're asking, he confidently replies, "No, I don't." And just like that, the officer says, "Welcome to Canada." Boom, done. And finally, Section 5, baggage claim, the ultimate reward at the end of the trip. Paul asks the airport staff, "Where can I get my baggage?" And they point him toward the baggage claim section. This is that designated area with the giant winding conveyor belts where arriving passengers finally collect the luggage they checked in. Yep, this is exactly where Paul reunites with that 25-kilogram bag we were talking about way back in Section 1. And there you have it. That brings us to the end of Paul's journey. And yours, from the check-in desk through security, onto the plane, past immigration, and all the way to baggage claim. You've totally mastered these essential phrases. So I want to leave you with one final question. Você já está pronto para o seu próximo voo? Are you ready for your next flight? Where are you going to confidently navigate next? Keep practicing those A1 and A2 basics, and safe travels.